Hey guys, so I wanted to do a video to kind of just document the last few days that I have encountered. um, I know everyone has a different journey and what to expect, but I'm really just doing this video just more out of awareness for women out there to not, just pass things up as, oh, it's nothing. So make a long story short, about a month and a half ago, I was just laying in the bed, and I discovered two lumps on my breast, my right breast. And they felt, kind of like pebbly-ish, like just weird. I knew they weren't there in the beginning of the year. And it's July 23rd today, 2018. So I knew they weren't there in the beginning of the year. And I knew they weren't there last year. So, just out of fear, you put things off and you're like, okay, I'm only 38. Cancer doesn't really run in my family that much. My grandmother, my dad's side, she had breast cancer, and his first cousin, she had breast cancer. But that was pretty much it in a nutshell. And as I said before, with me being 38, you kind of go by statistics. Well, I just couldn't stop touching it. It was just like something that just kept on, like almost God saying, touch that area again, touch it again. And of course, the more, that saying, out of sight, out of mind. Well, it was in sight, so it was always on my mind. And I said, you know what, let me just go ahead and make an appointment. And for all my ladies out there, you know how hard it is to get an appointment into OBGYN, let alone a mammogram. So I emailed my doctor, and immediately she called me back and said, you need to go and see OBGYN. So I called, made an appointment. They had a cancellation the very next day, so I went that Thursday. And that Thursday, my OBGYN, she felt the same exact lumps that I had been feeling on my breast. And it's actually on the side here of my breast. And I went in, and she said, you know what, you need to go for a mammogram, and we can find out exactly what these lumps are. They may be cysts or whatever. And I called as soon as I left her office, made an appointment for a mammogram, and I got a visit for the very next morning, which once again is very, very unlikely for you to get an immediate open for a mammogram. So I went the very next morning, and the lady was really, really nice, very friendly. Things went smoothly, and it just felt like God was just pushing me along to get things done, because my OBGYN didn't put in to have an ultrasound after the mammogram. So I had to get fit into the schedule for ultrasound that day, and I had my boys in the waiting room, and then finally got the ultrasound. And then she's like, get dressed and the radiologist will talk to you. And I got dressed, and she's like, okay, well, I don't know if you want to discuss the news in front of your kids, or if you prefer them to wait in the waiting area. And I said, I'm fine. So I go in, and the radiologist is like, hi, Mrs. Shover, nice to meet you, making small talk. And he says, one of the cysts, they look like it could possibly be fat neurosis. And after looking that up, fat neurosis usually happens, it's like the fatty cells die and they form a cyst or a cluster, and they get hard. And that usually takes place after some type of trauma, injury, or surgery. And I thought it was unusual because, yes, I do have implants, but my implants are about 4 years old. So I'm like, okay, well, if that's fat necrosis, like, why would it just be taking place now, like, after all these years of nothing? So he says that's one area, but he's like, there's another area that I'm really concerned with. So as soon as the doctor or the radiologist says that, you're like, oh God, here we go. So he says, I want you to make an appointment, or we're going to call you within 2 to 3 business days to make an appointment for you to be seen to do a biopsy. And we'll be able to figure out exactly what those two areas of concern are. And I'm like such a woman of faith. I believe in God. I know that He has me, and I know that I don't need to worry, because back in 2015, there was a tumor found in my bladder, and thank God it wasn't bladder cancer. So I'm thinking back, okay, here we are, God, we're back here again. I'm at the park and there was a spider that just jumped on me. I'm like, okay, God, here we are back here again. You know, I know that you're going to deliver me. I know you're going to heal me. And I know it's not going to be anything. But for most people that don't have the level of faith that I do, they would be panicking. And don't go on Google, because yes, I did go on Google. You're going to be dying. You're going to have everything underneath the sun. You're going to have breast cancer. And I'm really trying not to speak that into existence. So it is July 23rd, and it's Monday. I went on Friday, as I said, for my mammogram and for my ultrasound. And the nurse calls me back and she says, hey, you know, we have something available for August 6th. And I'm like, August 6th? Like, that's freaking 2 weeks away. Like, you know, when you have something, a mass, a lump, you know, an abnormal ultrasound and mammogram, you want to be seen right away, you know. And I think it's really that downtime of not knowing, that in-between time of, you know, waiting and knowing something's inside of you growing that should not be there, that wasn't there, is really the most nerve-wracking. But I'm still holding on and having a positive outlook. And my biopsy is August 6, 2018. And I'm going to do another video on that day, let you know how the biopsy went. Just to kind of give some more insight to any other female, any other woman that has to endure what I'm going through right now, because it can kind of be misleading. You see all these videos and there are different types of biopsies. Some people are in pain, some people are not. So I just wanted to document it and just share my journey. And more than anything, just really create awareness to go get checked. Don't put it off because of fear. Because that's kind of what I did. I felt it and I was like, I'm not going to go. It's probably nothing, or I don't want to find out about it being something. But I have 2 kids. I have a 5-year-old and a soon-to-be 8-year-old and a wonderful husband that loves me. And regardless of what's going to happen, I'm going to get through it and I'm going to be okay. So once again, this is a quick video just to let you in on my journey with me discovering 2 lumps in my right breast. They said that it could possibly be leakage from my implant. I'm not exactly sure, but that's what it is. So I'll come back with you with another video about my biopsy.